Hi you all, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. As you saw in the title, Cece, what the fuck happened? First I want to say, if you see me looking all over the place, it's because I am recording this forward facing, and if you record forward facing, you know, like actually the camera's over here and is where I should be looking, but you have a tendency to look at yourself. So just bear with me. Okay, so we're gonna do a little end of 2024 recap, what to expect in 2025, what happened this year, why did I end up ghosting, and how I plan to not do that next year. So first, the last quarter of the year for me is the most challenging quarter, as I'm coming to really learn and understand. I work in retail, so October, November, December are our busiest times of year. All roads lead to Christmas, and it just becomes a very exhausting, very draining time of year for me. It's also my son's birthday. We're in the holiday season. It's my birthday. It's a lot going on in the last quarter of the year. So I don't even remember when my last video is that I posted, and I just want to use this as an opportunity to talk to you all and talk to people who maybe didn't finish the year how they thought they were going to finish the year, and remind you, as always, that we're human. That's normal. And you know, as long as you have breath in your lungs, there's always next year. No harm, no foul. So ironically enough, around the time that I completely just fell off my YouTube channel, Passion Planner posted a really beautiful post about 6 reasons why you may not be planning at the moment. And I really resonated with a lot of those reasonings. For me, one, I was prioritizing my life over planning. So what that looks like is sometimes a lot of things are happening or nothing's happening, right? And it gets to a point where I'm just like, okay, I get it. I don't want to do it. Okay, and I know what time I have to wake up. I know what time I have to pick up my son. Sometimes we miss like 2 days. I know these things. I don't want to make time to sit down and plan those things out when I could be doing something different, right? I upped my volunteering this year, so that took precedent over me sitting down to plan out what was going on in my life. Another reason that really resonated with me is I plan as a hobby. All of this I do as a hobby. Social media, my business, planning, everything that I engage with is as a hobby. And it's not paying my bills. If you all ever see me, social media is not paying my bills. My business is not paying my bills. Real life stuff is paying my bills. And so when I ghost, it's not because this isn't something that I want to do anymore. It's because it got overwhelming, and if I have to start taking things off of my plate, these are the first things to go, unfortunately, because they bring me so much joy. I'm so proud of myself because I made it so much further this year in 2024 than I did in 2023. And I'm gonna make it all the way to the end in 2025. Like, I really do believe in myself. I hope you all believe in me, but life is life. Sometimes life be lifing. And you know, it is what it is. So definitely more of a hobby for me than something that brings money or opportunities, at least right now, into my life. So when the going gets tough and the tough gets going, I kind of have a tendency to fall back and disappear. I still love my planner, and as a matter of fact, I will be using my planner still going into 2025 until I finish it. Very important. And I do believe that it helps me improve my self-awareness. It helps me see and understand where I'm spending my time and how I'm spending my time. Like, I love my planner. It was just getting to be a lot. It's starting to get a lot. To be very transparent as well, I started being very hard on myself and not feeling like cool enough, and like I'm not reviewing pens, I'm not reviewing different planners. Like, it's very just, come plan with me. Like, come just hang out and let's get in our planners. Let's highlight some things. Let's talk about what we're doing well and what we can improve on. And I started to get very self-conscious about that, which just ended up me being in my head more and not here more. I also broke my tripod. That was the icing on the cake. When I broke my tripod, y'all, I was in here stacking up books on top of my table, on top of my ladder, trying to get these recordings done, and it just became so difficult. And as you know, if you're trying to build a habit or improve in any way, you want to remove as many barriers as possible. Well, and yes, it is as easy as buying a tripod, but I didn't. But I got 2 for Christmas. Thank you to my best friend. And my brother gave me 1 as well. So now I have no excuses. So those are just some of the reasonings why I didn't finish the year as strong as I thought I would on YouTube. But it helps me better understand how to prepare for next year. Even though I didn't finish YouTube as strongly as I would have wanted, I am very happy about 2024. I'm happy about my failures. I'm happy about the things that I accomplished. I'm happy about what foundations I've laid for myself to do better in 2025. One of those things is that I ended up doing 6 markets for my business last year, and that is a lot for me. And when I remind myself to not compare to other people, I did great. I still work a full-time job. I have an 8-year-old that I'm responsible for. I try my best to clean and maintain my house. So to do anything extra on top of the things that you have to do to survive, you should always be proud of yourself, no matter what. Is there money in my business bank account? Of course not. Of course it's not. But that doesn't mean that I didn't do great. Okay? So I was really happy about that. I'm happy about the progress that I made on YouTube. I feel like I engaged with a lot of people. I met someone who also does YouTube, and she's Black, and that was really fun. I am still trying to figure out and navigate YouTube as a social media platform that I would like to engage in. And also just discovering that I am an ordinary girl, and that's okay. And that's okay. I feel like between YouTube and Instagram, my 2 main platforms, I get overwhelmed with feeling like I have to be this other thing, and I'm trying to lean into I do not. I just have to be myself. And myself is good enough, but sometimes that doesn't always help. But I am still proud of myself this year, because if y'all probably didn't even know. My best friend did, because in 2023 was when I started, and I was like, Then I was like, oh, this is actually very hard. This is actually not very hard, but it's like hard. It's time consuming. I would say it's difficult in the sense that it's time consuming. Like, this requires time. I literally had to stop myself from washing dishes, and I was like, I have to record this video right now before the new year, otherwise it's not gonna get done. And I'm gonna record it, I'm gonna piece it together, and then I'm gonna post it today. So that we can go into 2025 like in a timely manner. But that requires a lot of, it requires me to be more disciplined about my time. It requires me to not be afraid. My boyfriend lives here now. I didn't realize, you all, how like weird it is to have people watch you record until my boyfriend moved in, which was in August, right when I started slowing up. And I was like, oh, you can see me doing this. And that became a little unnerving for me. Whereas like right now I'm home by myself. Who cares if I'm recording? Like, who gives a shit? But he doesn't care, but it was just weird because he's like, oh, I see you doing your little thing. And I'm like, oh, can you like not see me at all? That'd be great. So, but I'm still proud of myself because 2023, I don't think I made it past February. 2024, I made it to when, like September, October. Huge. I put out some shorts. I did some little vlogging. I was doing a great job, which makes me realize and understand that I have the capability to do this. I just have to, keep doing some tweaks. So I was proud of myself for that. I ran the Shamrock Shuffle in March, so that was a huge accomplishment for me. I said yes to some things and ended up going to like a free concert, ended up meeting some very interesting people. If you haven't caught on, I like to just do things. Don't matter what, I just be out here doing stuff. So sometimes doing stuff leads to really cool opportunities. I volunteered a lot this year. It was my first year doing volunteer work. So I volunteer at the conservatory here in my neighborhood. And I also volunteered at a secondhand store where all of their proceeds go to different charities in my neighborhood. So that was really cool. I wrapped all of my family's gifts. I wrapped friends' gifts. I wrapped for Beyond Hunger. Like I did things. I wrote letters to my boyfriend's grandparents. Like I did the absolute best that I could this year. And I am immensely proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself that I damn near don't even want to tell y'all what I didn't do this year. But, we got to level the playing field. So let's talk about where I fell short and how I'm using that to build my foundation for 2025. Where I fell short in 2024, I did not exercise as much as I wanted to. Y'all, I was drinking, I was eating, I was living a gluttonous life. My boyfriend cooks. We clearly, as you can tell, have a nice home bar. And we be living it up. And not like going out and partying. Like, it's just here in the house. Like, if I want to make myself a little morning cocktail, I will make myself a morning cocktail. Okay? I was going to make French toast today, and then I was like, no, we can just have toast and fruit. Okay? So I will do all those things. Like, we eat very well, we drink very well, which means that I was not exercising the way that I should. So that is going to be a big piece of 2025 for me. So I after the Shamrock Shuffle, after that in March, don't ask me what physical activity I did. Aside from just like my normal 40 hours a week, ripping and running through a store or little walks here and there around my neighborhood, like little things like that, cleaning the house. No weightlifting, no gym, like none of that stuff. My finances have been insane. It's been the first time in my life that I really understand that it's not that adults are irresponsible. It's a part of it, but a lot of times life just happens and it takes a long time for you to get back to a good place. So my finances will be a huge focus in 2025. And I'll be transparent. What's been the most disappointing for me is that my goals actually never change. My goals never change. The curveballs that life throw, however, derail me from what I want my life to look like, and I want to simplify my goals so that if and when there are curveballs, I can just navigate, right? And I think a lot of people fall into this when life is just kind of busy. You end up, it's a little bit more difficult to have better habits, I feel like. So if I have to take my son to school at 8 a.m. and I have to be at work at 9, that means I should be waking up at 5:30, which is what my alarm is set to. I haven't been waking up at that time to properly get ready for the day so that I can look my best, I can feel my best, I can cook breakfast, I can have a lunch, and then I can get him ready, get me ready, and then we can go. That is not what's been happening. I've been like waking up when the last minute that I'm supposed to wake up, and then I'm scrambling, and then I don't look as good, I don't feel as good, and I spend so much more money because I did not adequately prepare for the day, right? So, yeah, I'm not very happy with myself with my finances, but what I am learning is we can't get anything done through shame and guilt. So I'm reminding myself that you are aware of what the situation is. Now your job is to just continue to do your best to not be in the same place at the end of the year, right? So my finances was where I fell short on my finances. However, I did get a new job, which in one of my YouTube videos, I know I mentioned, I no longer work for Paper Source. I now work for J. Crew Factory. I worked for them back in 2014 until I had my son. And the only reason why I left is because they didn't have full-time opportunities. So now I'm back full-time. I make a little bit more money, which is always good. There's bonus opportunities, a lot more financial opportunities that weren't available for me when I was working for Paper Source. So that's a plus. That's a plus. So as long as I do what I'm supposed to do, I should have money by the end of the year. But I was a little disappointed very disappointed actually in how I spent my money in 2024. Another way that I fell short is I stopped believing in myself. Point blank period. I stopped believing in myself. I stopped believing that I could do this. I stopped believing that I made enough to save. I stopped believing that I had time to exercise. Like I just got lost in the momentum of life, and instead of me holding on to something and regaining control, I just let it go, right? And I'm disappointed in myself in that, and that's okay. That's okay to say. This 2024, as I can foresee, was the last year that I would have any major changes happening in my life. So my boyfriend moved in. That's one. And I got a new job. That's two. Those are schedule impacts. That's just atmosphere impacts. Like, I used to not have a problem waking up at 5:30 in the morning. Me and my boyfriend are hardcore cuddlers. It's very difficult for me to wake up at 5:30 in the morning when I am in a cocoon of love and heat and just scrumptiousness. It's really difficult for me to get my ass up and do what I'm supposed to do. But I'm trying to remind myself and reiterate to myself that before he was here, I was this person. I like this person. I need to set better boundaries and be that person. And that is my responsibility. That is not his. Right? So him moving in really impacted my day-to-day activities, my day-to-day life, how I move around. It's real easy for me to not care about waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm the only person that it impacts. When it impacts other people, it makes it a little bit more difficult. And I just was not doing what I was supposed to do. And that's okay. So I'm trying to think, that's really it. Like, I did not stick to good routines. I slipped more into a life of comfort and gluttony. I could spend some money. I can spend some money. Okay, I could spend some money. And I stopped believing in myself. And so with that spiral out of control, I did not accomplish, or I didn't finish the things that I thought I was going to be able to finish, when I was really like, girl, you're doing great. You got this. Woo, 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 woo. You know? So that's where I fell short. But I still have air in my lungs. I still have so many things. I'm still so fortunate. So let's talk about 2025. What can y'all expect from my YouTube channel in 2025? One thing you can expect is for me to go back to backward facing camera, okay? I know this is weird. I just had to get this done. This is an imperfect but perfect process. I had to just get this done, okay? Backward facing camera. No, but seriously, what you all can expect from me in 2025. You can expect me to continue to plan. We are going to continue to plan. Okay? You can expect a little bit of vlogging. It's because I like it. I like editing, so it helps with practicing for editing. So a little bit of vlogging. You can expect shorts. I like shorts. I like that it forces me to kind of sit down and just keep up with myself and crank it out. You can expect journaling, journal prompts. I love to scour the internet for journal prompts, and I think that'll be a really good addition. You can expect some money talk. Okay? What that's not gonna look like. The internet is mean. Okay? The internet is mean. I don't want to talk about how much credit card debt I have. I have a lot. Like, I have a lot. Okay? I have a lot of debt. Okay? It took me a very long time to even be able to say that out loud and not feel shame about it. But I have a lot of debt for a lot of different reasons. I had to deplete all of my money everywhere when life was just throwing me ball after ball after ball. So it's going to be a lot of like rebuilding that in the blueprint from scratch, right? The girl who I met, the lady who I met, I'm going to tag her below. She does beautiful budgeting videos, and they were just so inspiring that I was like, I can do that. Like that's manageable. Filling in January and having each letter represent $1, I can do that. $20 a week, I can do that. Like, I believe in myself. I can do it, right? So talking a lot more about money, because I want to talk more about money. Not necessarily in the sense of like, this is what my monthly budget looks like. No, but we could talk about money challenges. So either I follow a lot of financial people, or money is going to be a huge trend for 2025, because there's a lot of like breakdowns for how to save up money by the end of the year. There's a lot of saving challenges that I'm seeing, and I love to gamify my life. It just keeps it fun, keeps it fresh. So we're going to be talking about like different things like that. Like my January money challenge is I'm not getting outside coffee more than twice a week. Gotta start small. I'm not going to say 0. No more than twice a week. You know why? You see that? You see, I use it. Don't get me wrong. I use it, and I will still go buy me a latte. Hot ass mess. So, and then I will pay myself, because I realized, embarrassingly so, when I do not pack a lunch or breakfast, it's a minimum of $25. So the $20 a week, I have it. I'm just eating it. Okay? So it's like, start the week at $20 a week, and know that that's just one day that you packed a breakfast or packed lunch, things like that. So money challenges are definitely going to be something that you'll hear me talk about, as I'm also talking about planning. So we'll definitely talk about money and like money in 2025, as I'm talking about like planning for the month and different things like that. I am also going to be talking a lot about I don't want to say a lot, but I will be introducing more like fashion and style stuff, not in the way that you think. Don't get worried. It's not going to be like hauls or nothing like that. My business is a secondhand business, and I want to incorporate it more here on my YouTube channel. So some things like these are some things that I found at the thrift store. Yak. But more importantly, my favorite thing to do, it's a little type A of me, but my favorite thing to do is like analyze my wardrobe. And it kind of goes with money because it helps me save a lot of money, believe it or not. When you know what's in your closet, when you know how many outfits you have and, you know, different things like that, it's the urge to buy more, it decreases. At least it has for me. When I don't know that, or when I can't figure out that, I think I need everything that I find, everything under the sun. But when I feel confident and I feel good about what's in my closet, how I dress, how I show up, what are my key pieces, all of that stuff, I feel so much better. I want to share that with you all because that's the type of content that I like to see. Show me your transitional pieces for spring. Show me how you're transitioning these pieces into summer. Show me what coats you have for winter, why you like them. And because I work in retail, you will notice that I do own a lot of things. And it's not because I spend at an absurd amount, even though sometimes I do, I will be honest. It's because it's dirt cheap for me. It's damn near better than thrifting sometimes for me. So what happens is that, like, for example, the last 8 weeks, they were running clearance for associates at $5. Y'all, I got 3 coats. 3 gorgeous coats. So when I'm showing you the coats, don't think like, oh my gosh, she has so much money. They were $5. They were $5. I have no money. I'm broke as a joke, okay? So that's how I'm envisioning 2025. With that all being said, I want to say thank you all so much if you watched and rocked with me for majority of 2024. I don't want to apologize, but I also want to apologize. I'm sorry for ghosting. It was not my intention. Life started to life, and it just became to be overwhelming. It became to be a lot, and YouTube doesn't pay my bills. Maybe one day, but not right now. And when that happens, in order for me to not burn out, in order for me to show up in 2025, I have to take a back seat and recognize that I'm over my capacity at the moment. So hopefully every year just growing my bandwidth. That's all I'm trying to do is grow my bandwidth. I expect to see myself on here twice a month. I am not an every weeker, okay? I am not. Sometimes I work until 9 p.m. and then I have to get back to work at 8 in the morning. Sometimes I have no days off for 6 consecutive days before I have 2 consecutive days off, and the last thing I want to do is record. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes, like right now, my house is a complete disaster, and I need to focus on that. And that's why you all may get some vlogging content, because I want to be consistent. I want to be here. It's just not always going to be planning, because I'm not always planning, right? I'm a human. But if that sounds good to you, I'll see you in 2025. Like, we're starting in January, y'all. We getting right to it. Okay, I'm a prepare a little better. I'm gonna have my angles right. I'm gonna have the camera facing backward. All the things. But I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you if you said any kind words to me this year. Thank you if you were like, I knew she was gonna be back. Thank you. And thank you if you're keeping me on your watch list for 2025. I am excited. I want to do this for myself. And I want to do it for you all, because I think we're all pretty cool. I think we deserve slightly elevated normal people. And I consider myself that. Like, my house is still a mess. I did my makeup just for you all. But I also don't have on pants. And I have on my boyfriend's t-shirt. And you can't see that I don't have on a bra. And you can't see that, like, again, I'm taking my Christmas decorations down today. I'm over it. You can't see that my kitchen has been a mess or my bedroom is a mess. Like, I think for a very long time, I was like, oh, if I can't be perfect, right? A form of perfectionism. If I can't be perfect, then I'm not deserving to be anything. And I don't want that to be my page. I don't want that to be how I communicate or come off. And so even though I was not perfect last year and I didn't stick around all the way until the end of 2024, I had the courage to pick up where I left off, tell you all what to expect for next year, and hopefully I will see you there, because I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. But anywho, let me look this way. Anywho, happy holidays, happy new year, and I'm so excited for us to plan out our 2025 together, do some journaling, and just get to be better versions of ourselves next year. And that's what I want us to do. So see you in about 3 days.